You're wasting our talents.
If people want to listen, they're free to join the Discord and then join us in reading these.
Think
They
of the
can
watch
also join
hours.
in on the
Think of the watch
performance.
hours.
Yes. Anyways, how you doing, all you beautiful sons of bitches? It's your boy Max here, and today we got the boys Solar and John here, and we're reviewing issues 15 to 18 of the original Star Wars Marvel comics from the 70s and 80s. So let's just jump right into this, shall we? So we open issue 15, Star Duel. With Governor Korg dead and his jamming equipment disabled, Crimson Jack's battle cruiser is fully operational and waiting for Han and the Millennium Falcon to leave the surface of Drexel so Jack can exact some revenge. Jolly engages in a dogfight with the Falcon, which results in her Y-wing and the Falcon becoming disabled. Although Han appears helpless as a result of the damage, he forces a personal exchange between himself and Jack when he reveals that Chewbacca erased Jack's navigational charts while on board his cruiser. Meanwhile, Jolly requests assistance because of damage sustained in the earlier battle, but Jack dismisses her, focusing instead on how to get back at Han. Angered at Jack's response, Jolly fires on her former allies and rams her ship into the battle cruiser, killing the crew and herself. While Jack survives the blast, he's still bent on killing Han, but in the final duel between the two, Han ends up killing the red-bearded pirate with a blaster. Oh, yeah.
The big
So,
conclusion to the Crimson Jay. He's been there for like 2 whole arcs because he robbed Han. Then he went and did his whole planet with the bounty hunter crew doing the Seven Samurai thing. And then he came back and became more of a main villain here, even though they took another detour to that water planet. And
yeah.
then finally Jack got it through the chest after Han successfully wooed that lady into going crazy for him.
Yeah.
And then he
Yes.
got reincarnated in Shillington Crew or something.
Han's like, hey, the body's still warm. You guys mind leaving a little early?
Yeah, John, why don't you explain a little bit more about, like, the whole deal with fucking Jolly in this fucking arc, will ya?
Like, yeah, the whole time, like, Leia basically mentioned, like, oh, Han's not so bad. And she's like, and Jolly basically responded with immediately, like, going nuts and going, like, "You stupid Leia. Or I hate her now because she made me really confused. Now I like a man and I hate men because my father abandoned my mom and me." And because it showed, like, her whole backstory. They pulled an Acolyte where she saw fire in space and was like,
Literally,
flashback
yeah.
time.
Yeah, that must have been. Yeah, this issue must have been where Leslie Headland got the idea to use fire as a means to segue into a backstory. Yeah.
He's like an anime character whenever they're about to die and they're like, "Oh, I'm dying. This reminds me of the other time I almost died."
Yeah. Jolly's a straight up femcel, no cap. Oh my god.
I think, see, modern people would be very pissed off at this because they'd be like, "Why didn't they just make her a lesbian? Why is she all going crazy for a man?"
Or she's queer coded.
Yeah, I think that's what they tried first, but then whenever her whole
No,
arc
she's
becomes,
queer coded, and
well, I think that would be like the initial thing whenever she's like still talking about how much she hates men. But then whenever the whole arc becomes like, oh, she likes Han too much and it makes her confused and makes her kill all of Captain Jack's crew and shit.
no,
And they,
she's angry because society is forcing her to be a heterosexual.
that probably would be it. It's like, see, she had heterosexual feelings, then she died. This is a message, ladies. You'll die if you do that.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, what else did you guys think about the issue? Solar, overall thoughts on this issue?
Pretty entertaining
Mhm.
overall.
Yeah.
They actually make Han act like a smuggler, like he doesn't do anything stupid.
Yeah.
Because he's always he always has to like just get caught with his pants down in like the sequels or whatever. Meanwhile, in this, like him and Jack both have the same like cautions. They both betray each other equally. Neither one of them really gets the upper hand on the other.
Yeah, Han even comes up with like that plan to basically like steal the star maps, like
Mhm.
Jack's star maps, like right out from under him. Yeah.
It makes it way more believable that he's actually survived in this galaxy for this long, 'cause the way he acts so stupid in the sequels, it's like, well, he never would have even survived 5 minutes, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyways, John, other thoughts on this issue?
It was pretty action heavy. It was a lot of the, the starship chase. They have the Y-wing. I don't think they knew that the Y-wings were bombers yet, because
Oh
they have the
yeah.
Y-wing, like, shooting a laser constantly and, like, fly and they keep calling it a starfighter.
Yeah. Apparently to rectify like calling the Y-wing in this issue a fighter, even though like we said it's a bomber. Apparently they had to like they said that, oh, this specific Y-wing is a bomber. It's a BTL Y-wing instead of the standard Y-wings that we think of. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you could also say, like, well, it's a starfighter as opposed to, like, a bigger ship. Like, it's just kind
Yeah.
of the class of ship is that it's a small one for individual, pilots and shit.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so yeah, overall, my thoughts, I was like, yeah, I thought this was a good issue, entertaining issue, wrapped up a big story that was spanning the whole series up to this point. So, yeah, this issue, it also gets a thumbs up. The art is really good in this issue. So, yeah, thumbs up for me. So, anyways, on to issue number 16, The Hunter, which is a story that introduced the first ever bounty hunter to Star Wars. Eat your heart out, Boba. Introduced the first ever bounty hunter, Baylor Valance. So we open this issue where Baylor Valance, a droid hating bounty hunter, is leading his mercenary gang on a merciless attack at Angle Bay Station on Telos 4. There they find Don Juan Quixote, who recounts his adventures with the Starhoppers of Aduba 3. The gang mistakes the Starhoppers for the group of rebels who destroyed the Death Star, thinking the young farm boy Jim Doshun is actually Luke Skywalker. Thinking of the huge reward for capturing the boy who destroyed the Empire's greatest weapon, as well as the personal enjoyment of punishing someone who favors droids, Valance immediately sets off to find the boy. Jackson and Ameza Fox train return, and they find out about his plan and go to Aduba 3 to warn Jim that the bounty hunters are after him. A battle ensues when the gang arrives, and most of them are killed during the fight with the three Starhoppers. It is only then that Valance, the lone survivor of his gang, realizes that he was after the wrong boy the whole time, but he escapes by using the blaster built into his cybernetic arm, taking the others by surprise and leaving the planet in his ship, the Kill Switch. So,
Mm.
Solar, thoughts on this issue?
All right, I got two. First things, you mentioned Telos 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's Cardenas' home world.
Mm-hmm.
And that you mentioned that he looks like an ultramarine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's also fun that he hates droids, because in
Mm-hmm.
Warhammer everyone robots are banned.
Mm-hmm.
And well, a little bit of a spoiler, but he ends up turned into some sort of servitor at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's in the issue, yeah. The T-800 reveal.
Yeah. He's basically a cyborg. He like rips off like half of his face, and he's got like a cybernetic half. So it's ironic that he hates droids. Yeah,
Well, and he was erasing the history of that station where they had, like, saved him,
yeah,
and so it was,
yeah.
that was
They say that he's like an ex-Imperial trooper who survived a nasty attack that scarred him, but then he decided to defect, I guess, and just become a bounty hunter by then. Yeah.
yeah, so they clearly had to, like, repair him. He almost died, and then he's, like, ashamed of it, so he attacks the whole base with the only record of that. That's
Yeah.
what he's doing in the beginning. He's like, I gotta wipe out the red in my ledger here.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Yeah.
I thought he looked like Frank Castle because he had a little skull on his suit, and then he had
Yeah.
like the gray streaks, and which I know is more of a Reed Richards thing, but he just had that kind of squarish face like a Frank Castle in those old comics.
Mm-hmm. John, let's hear, John. Any other thoughts on this issue?
Is this the one where they do the second Seven Samurai thing? It's like kind of
Yep.
a quicker one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much like a abbreviated version of that. And I like how they even make even the fucking green rabbit bounty hunter guy, or not bounty hunter, but a mercenary guy.
Jackson, yeah.
Yeah, they even give him more intelligence than most of the modern characters. He like devises a pretty good plan, using his ship, but it's modified different from how they usually have it. So he's able to take most everybody by surprise. But then it also shows the intelligence of the bounty hunter because he's like, wait, it's probably modified. We got to get those shields up, and he gets them up just fast enough to save himself. And then it kind of like devises a way for him to get their ship and get off before they completely defeat him. But it still keeps them from just like getting rolled over just for the sake of the plot.
Yeah.
And Jackson even withstands some torture on his piercing on his ear.
Yeah. Well, anyways, yeah, so yeah, my thoughts on this issue is that, yeah, this is probably my favorite issue thus far that we've read so far. So yeah, massive thumbs up for me from this issue right here. So yeah, I consider this issue must read. And yeah, like I think Solar mentioned it, but yeah, Valance does reappear later on in the series. So yeah, anyway, so look forward to him, y'all. Anyway, so what else is next? So then we move on to issue 17, Crucible. Yes, really, we read the entire novel Crucible as part of reviewing this. We jumped all the way to the end of the EU, but no, not really. Anyway.
So just briefly summarize everything between the last issue and Crucible now. Just
No.
like in a minute.
No, anyway. So, yeah, so we opened issue 17 titled Crucible, where Luke is piloting the Millennium Falcon through space. His mind flashes back to his life back on Tatooine. Luke, Biggs, Deke, and other youngsters are racing their T-16 Skyhoppers through the twisting maze of Beggar's Canyon when a wounded scout arrives to warn them of an impending attack by the Sand People. While the others try to hold off the attacks, Luke and Biggs rush off to warn the other residents of the area of the danger. Biggs is wounded by a Tusken Raider, and Luke has to take him in his Skyhopper through the dangerous caverns of Diablo Cut to get him to safety. So, guys, any thoughts on this issue? Solar?
I'll admit this is a little bit of a deviation from the line plot line we were going through.
Yeah. Yeah, straight up. The last issue straight up advertised the next issue that we're talking about, issue 18, but for some reason we got this story first. I don't know why. But yeah, I don't know what happened there. Anyway, Solar, anything else to say about this issue?
Not really.
Not really. John, anything you want to say about this?
Yeah, it's a bit of a filler arc / detour, but it does explain why Luke is not a Gary Stu. It shows like his whole upbringing and how he's doing the Beggar's Canyon is just like the Death Star Trench. Essentially, it gets narrower and narrower with really tight turns and everything. And they maneuver their way through that, and then he has to go through the passageway that's like impossible as well. And he gets a brief little glimpse of the Force for the first time. So it even does like a little bit of a tease of that in a tasteful way. It's not like he suddenly goes like, aha, and he like does a mind trick or something. It's just a little subtle help in his flight where he feels like a little bit of a connection, or just like kind of goes into a flow state a little bit while he's piloting.
Yeah.
And then, I was a little bit surprised that there wasn't a more action-packed ending. They're just like, he like warns Owen and Beru, and then it's just like, oh, and then the militia fought them off. They all the Sand People died. It's just like did that off screen real quick.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't know. This is probably my least favorite issue of the whole series so far because, like John said, it's pretty much filler. It's a one and done. And like, in my opinion, like this was kind of like a useless flashback story that it didn't really add to Luke as a character all that much. In like, there's not really, like, in my opinion, there's not really much you can do with Luke, like in his childhood before A New Hope, because like you're pretty much he's pretty much stuck there, you know, doing like stuff that isn't gonna matter in the grand scheme. And so there's that, and it's just, and like yeah, it hinted at stuff that's going to happen to him later, but that's only because like it's meaningful to us. And Luke didn't really develop as a character in this, I didn't feel like. And they also like try to do this where it's like, yeah, it's like, oh, the Sand People are gonna attack Anchorhead, and Luke is all like, oh shit, Uglo and Emperor's farm is in the path and then their path of destruction. I gotta save them. Well, they're not in danger because yeah, we know they're gonna survive until A New Hope. They also have like Biggs and Luke get attacked by a fucking Tusken, and like he gets stabbed with the Gadurfi stick, and the Gadurfi stick is like poison tipped, right? So he gets stabbed in the shoulder. Now he's got poison running through his veins. So now it's also like, oh shit, I gotta race back to like the farm to get Biggs' medical attention. But we know Biggs is gonna survive because he has to, again, for A New Hope. So yeah, like there wasn't really there wasn't a whole lot of tension in this story for me, and the whole story itself just and the story itself, like it's mainly like Luke wants to go to a fucking drag race with Biggs and all his buddies. It just wasn't very meaningful to me. I didn't feel like it added anything. It just felt like it didn't need to be told. And yeah, it's filler, so you can remove it without losing much of anything, really. But hey, if it turns out that the events of this book pay off in a later issue, or events of this issue pay off in a later issue, I'll take what I said back. There you go.
Well, it's less of a I think it's more of a backfill for the Trench run. Because it was like he verbally said it, but then they're like, no, really, it's like it really it goes into showing you like he wasn't just like bragging. It actually is like incredibly difficult doing
Still
this.
feels unnecessary, man. Anyway,
probably just for anybody bitching about like he just started flying and all of a sudden he could do the Death Star run.
Well, in that case, I guess it is useful then. Anyway. Oh, but then we move on to issue 18, The Empire Strikes. Not back. The Empire just strikes in this one.
Yeah, this is before they strike back. This is the first time.
Yeah. Anyway, so we open this issue with, while trading on board the Millennium Falcon, Luke falls into a deep and mysterious trance as Han, as Han, Leia, and Chewbacca pilot the Falcon towards medical help. They stumble across the remains of a House of Tag merchant ship. They discover a surviving rebel soldier who tells them that the Tag ship was actually attacked by Imperials, but it was made to look like rebels had destroyed the craft. The Imperial cruiser of Commander Strom soon arrives on the scene, intending to capture the Falcon and her crew, but Han pilots their escape to the relative safety of the Wheel. Strom sends his troops to follow, but is soon contacted by the Wheel's administrator, Simon Greyshade, who reminds the Imperial commander that the Wheel is supposed to be free of interference from the Empire. Strom then claims that these rebels are responsible for the attack on the House of Tag ship, which was carrying profits from the Wheel, at which point Greyshade relents and allows the Imperials onto the Wheel's lower levels to catch the rebels. So, Solar, thoughts on this issue?
Like I said when we read it, it reminded me a lot of Jedi Academy when Luke faces against Kip Doran and is ambushed by Exar Kun's spirit.
Yeah.
And what happens is that Exar Kun rips the soul out of Luke's body.
Yeah.
While his body is okay, and it's like he's not dead. His body is still alive, but he's not responding. And Luke's soul was outside, and it's like, hey, can anyone hear me? I'm right here.
Yeah.
So it's basically like the fucking English dub of Yu-Gi-Oh! He's like, he went to the Shadow Realm. He captured
Yeah,
his
pretty much.
soul. Or
Pretty
in
much,
GX,
yeah.
he went to the stars.
Yeah. Oh my god, man. This is anything else, Solar?
I was expecting to know more about the rebel they picked up,
Yeah, he died, yeah.
and that Tie Fighter. It kind of reminded me of Vader's Tie Fighter, so I was expecting it to be Vader.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
It's just another what is it, TIE Advanced or whatever?
yeah, because they
Yeah.
mentioned that they were like improved I don't even think they called them TIE fighters. They were just like TIE starships or
TIE
something.
ships, yeah.
Yeah. And then yeah, in one of the earlier issues, it was with Jolly. They had like all the respirators and shit hooked up to her whenever she was in the pilot seat. So I feel like early on, they like having just seen A New Hope, they might have thought like they might have seen like the Imperial guys with all the tubes and shit and been like, oh, does everybody need those when they fly a starfighter? Like maybe the rebels had helmets on, maybe that was their version. I don't know.
Yep. Anyways, John, any thoughts on this issue here?
Well, not too many. I did like this is kind of how you do a third faction, right? Because they actually explain like why the empire lets them operate because it's like, oh, well, it makes a lot of people come here and gamble, including even your governors and shit, because they know that there's not going to be authority here. And that's what the guy explains to Strom whenever Strom's like, oh, well, it's just he's like doing the arrogant imperial thing. He's like, oh, that's a privilege. I'm getting rid of that privilege because we need
Yeah.
to right now. And the whole what was his name? Slate Gray or
Gray Shade.
Gray Shade? Yeah. Which I was like, I hope he's not a Shades of Gray character. That would be a little bit obvious.
Uh,
All the Filoni freaks will be like, Gray Jedi. and then,
oh
but
wow.
no, he actually explains it like in a logical manner, in a way that makes sense in the story, because like basically Imperials are overstepping their boundaries, and he's like, well, if you could do that, you could, but then nobody's going to gamble. You're not going to get the tax revenue from all that gambling, and then your emperor is going to be pretty pissed off. Like, this works as a good little quid pro quo for everybody, and you guys basically have this surrounded, so you can catch anybody who flees here whenever they eventually have to leave. They can't stay gambling forever. Um, and so yeah, it actually makes it make sense rather than just going like, it's a lawless world. The Imperials don't come here because they're not stupid. It's just like, oh no, we actually like offer an explanation, which is appreciated.
Yeah. Any other thoughts, John?
Uh, Not too much. They were still on the run at the end, so hasn't really concluded that story yet.
Yeah. Well, anyways, guys, yeah. So I thought this issue is pretty good, setting up the next big arc in this comic series. You guys looking forward to it or what?
Nice. If it's anything like a One Piece arc, we've only got like 100 more issues for it to conclude.
Ah! Yeah. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so yeah, I'm looking for I hear the stuff concerning on the wheel is pretty good. So you guys look forward to that. So yeah, so basically, so far for those keeping track, every issue I've given a thumbs up except for issue 17. But hey, man, it's like only one thumbs down. That's not a bad track record for this series so far. I think that's about all we got for today. So guys, just quick thoughts. Where you guys think all the stuff on the wheel is gonna go? Just predictions.
I'm guessing that with Han and them, he'll work that third party a little bit to like probably get away at the end. Like, they'll all have like caused a bunch of trouble and blasted a bunch of shit, but obviously the Imperials are setting up the rebels to look like they were going after their funds. And
Yeah.
because that's what that now dead rebel pilot said. So obviously they'll like probably record Thrawn like saying like, and that's why we had to set up the rebels so that we could operate here. Then he'll be like, I heard everything. Thrawn, you get out of here.
Yeah.
Strom, you get out of here. I'm guessing
Yeah.
that's how it'll resolve.
Solar, what are your predictions?
Luke is gonna wake up stronger in the Force.
Probably, yeah.
I thought you were just gonna say Luke will wake up. I'm like, well, that's not a very strong prediction. We know he wakes up. No, but that makes more sense. Yeah.
Well,
stronger
anyways,
decisions.
guys, that's going to be all for us in this episode. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment below, subscribe to more videos like this, and we'll see you guys next time in the backseat. Take care.